Hi, welcome to Flip It Fixed. I'm Kim, and today I'm going to show you what I did with this pine dresser. It's solid wood. You can see from the top those rings on it. It had a little bit of damage, some paint. It's really dirty. But this is a probably 80s dresser, so it's made it a long time. It's got that orange looking stain on it. It had the ribbon detail in the front that I liked. I immediately saw this going in a girl's bedroom. So all the drawers worked really well. Those top two had felt in the bottom. All in all, the drawers were clean. You can see there were some items left behind. My husband and I bought a storage auction, and it had a bunch of furniture in it. So this was one of the pieces in that auction. So the first thing that I did was I started sanding the top. A lot of the pieces that I do, I leave the top stained and then paint the bottom. So I wasn't sure if that's what I was going to do with this one or not. But as I started sanding, I saw that those rings went a little bit deeper than I liked, even though I thought it was solid wood. And, there are methods that you can use to get those stains out. I thought maybe this would look better all the same color. So here I'm just sanding. I was going to just do a scuff sand, but there were some surface scratches that I wanted to get out. So that's why you see me going down to the bare wood in some areas. So here I'm just continuing to scuff sand. I did put a foam abrasive on my SurfPrep sander. You don't need a SurfPrep. I know it's expensive, but I really like it, and I have it attached to my vacuum. So the sanding dust is really minimal. It takes almost all of it into the vacuum. So I have that abrasive on there, the foam abrasive. It helps it to go around all those curves. So I switched to hand sanding here. I felt like I wasn't getting into some of those details that I wanted to. And that's, that flat surface. This helps. You can get these on Amazon. That's where I got them. You just put the sandpaper on there. And I think I have the foam abrasive and the piece of sandpaper on it. And then I did switch to just the foam abrasive with the sandpaper. And then the sandpaper by itself, I folded it over to get into some of those really small areas. Here I had to make a small repair on the side near the bottom. So I'm using Bondo that's the wood filler initially, and then I put the cream hardener in there. You mix it together. I'm using the one for wood. There are other kinds of Bondo, like the all-purpose one. This one will turn green once you've mixed the two. And then this is a bad shot, but I'm putting the hardener in there. I put that piece of tape on there to keep it kind of flat. And then once it hardens, it doesn't take long, you can sand it. And you'll see here, it's actually on the bottom. It comes out completely flat, and after it's painted, you can't see that at all. This is usually the first step, but I wanted to work on that, the dresser box itself first. So I'm removing the hardware, and I'm actually keeping these. So I'll set those aside for now, and I'm going to clean them later. But that's all I'm doing here is removing the hardware, and then I clean the drawers with a degreaser. It's the same one. I didn't show it, but I cleaned the dresser with that first. You have to use a degreaser, and you can use like Dawn dish soap, or any cleaner as long as it says degreaser on it. And the reason for that is so you don't create that resist where the paint doesn't stick to the surface. Here I'm just vacuuming up the sawdust from when I was sanding it. I vacuumed before I started, and then I cleaned it. But this is just getting up that a little bit of sawdust that's on there, on the outside there, and a little bit on the inside, because I did do some hand sanding. So I moved on to scuff sanding the drawers, and I put that foam abrasive pad back on there to get into those details. So I did all of the drawers. You can see I put that pad on the top of the dresser to protect it while I'm doing this. Here I'm just vacuuming up the dust from sanding. The prep does take a long time, but it's worth it for the finished product. So I see a couple areas that I missed, so I want to get those, make sure I have it scuff sanded well. We're almost ready for primer. I saw a couple areas that needed a little bit of wood filler, so I just did that really quick. I really like this wood filler. It's really creamy. It goes on creamy and it fills in really well. It dries quickly, so I'll link that one as well. So this is the final wipe down before primer. This is just a microfiber cloth and I have it damp, and I just make sure I wipe everything to get really clean so the primer goes on smooth. Here's what the dresser looks like after all the prep is done. You can see there's a lot of spots where I sanded down to bare wood, but we'll take care of that with the primer and it'll start to look a lot better. It is looking rough right now. Here's the primer going on. I use bin 123, I think it's in the blue can. This is the water-based primer. I like using that because it goes through the sprayer nice. The shellac-based, you have to do a lot more cleaning in the sprayer. It just doesn't work very well. This is a Wagner Flexio, I think it's 5100 sprayer. I'll check on that and link it in the description. But it goes on really smoothly. I always, you can see that, kind of see that cardboard right there behind me. I always use that first. I spray it on there just to make sure that the settings are right with what I'm using. I do water this down just slightly. I don't have a measurement. I just pour a little bit of water in there before I start. I went in with a second coat of primer because you can see there where I went down to bare wood, it's still showing through, and I just didn't want to be able to see that when I put on the paint. So I think I ended up doing 3 coats of primer, and then you'll see I actually take a spray can of shellac primer that I had, and that finally does the trick. So once I did the drawers, I put the feet, they unscrew, so I put them on a piece of cardboard to spray those as well. You can see here where I was talking about the wood poking through, so that would probably show up after it's painted. So here I'm just just smoothing out, sanding. This is 320 grit, but I've used it before, so it's probably a little bit higher than that. So I do that until it feels smooth, and then I'm wiping it back. And then I'm going to take that spray can of primer that I was talking about. This is the acrylic or the oil-based that you'll see at the end. It covers it up. Here I'm just sanding it again using that foam abrasive, that 320 grit, just to make sure it's smooth. And then I wipe it down so I can start painting. This is Fusion Mineral Paint in the color Peony. It's a really nice light pink, pale pink. I can see it going in a nursery or a little girl's room. I would even put it in my room. So here I'm adding another coat. I did 2 coats in total, and then I did a couple coats of top coat. What I do with the top coat is I pour out the remaining paint in the sprayer, and then I pour the top coat in. That way you have a tinted top coat. So here is the hardware. This is just vinegar and water that cleans them up. This is a slow cooker I got specifically for that purpose. Here's the side by side, the before and after. And here's after they're polished. So you can see they polish up really nice. They are solid brass. So before we see the after, here's what it looked like when I first got it, with the paint on the top and the rings scratched up and dirty with that orange stain on it from the 80s. And here's the after, pretty in pink. This was actually a video I took for the marketplace listing. It turned out really well. Let me know what you think, but I really like it. I actually wanted to keep this one, but I did sell it. This was the fastest sale I've ever had. I put it up on Marketplace and I checked it, it said pending, and then I got a message with the first message I got saying that she was very interested, and she picked it up the next day. This is my cost breakdown, and the reason why I have no cost at the top was because, like I said before, this was a storage auction, and at this point I had more than paid for the auction, so I put 0 in for my cost. So for some puppy cuteness, this is our 5-month-old German Shepherd. He's a rescue. His name's Gunner. Shout out to Virginia German Shepherd Rescue. He's actually a mixed German Shepherd and Belgian Malinois, so he's a little crazy, but we love him. So thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe and leave any comments below. Thanks.